Did you know that becoming vegan actually makes you more feminine? You don't believe me? Watch this.
The people who are vegan, everybody can do what they want to do, but I felt that they become, even it was 5% more feminine.
5% more feminine? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. How do you even quantify femininity anyways? Is there a 5% difference in the way that vegan men speak or their mannerisms? Or do they grow 5% more breast tissue? No, because this argument is stupid. And today I'm gonna rip it completely apart. Welcome to my channel. If you don't know me already, my name is Brian Turner and I've been vegan for 8 years and I'm absolutely thriving. So when the internet says stupid things about veganism, I take it upon myself to debunk the stupidity and hopefully steer more people's perception back to a more favorable outlook. So allow me to make you sound really stupid in 5 easy points. Point number 1. Let's just pretend that what this guy's saying is true. I'm a big analogy guy, you guys know this, because analogies simplify things. And to me, it kind of sounds like this guy may need things explained as simple as possible. So, saying that veganism makes men more feminine is like claiming that eating a carrot cake instantly turns men into Bugs Bunny. I have carrots every single day. Wait, am I a rabbit?
What's up, Doc?
Point number 2. You know what else is traditionally considered not manly? Crying. You know that thing you do when you just have so much pain inside that you want to release it? Well, you know how many men are absolute abusers who are inflicting that pain on other people because they bottle their emotions up for years, for decades, for lifetimes, and they never learn healthy methods of expressing themselves? When I had my most severe cystic acne when I was in high school, I was already struggling extremely hard to fit in. I grew up being ashamed of crying, so while I was absolutely struggling inside, while I was tearing myself up and other people were tearing me down, I never expressed it. And then one day it was particularly bad where my best friend poked a cyst on my nose in front of a bunch of people, and then in one of my classes people were whispering about my acne when I was giving a speech, and I was just feeling beaten down. I was feeling terrible. And then I finished the school day, I walked to my car, I sat down, and as soon as that door closed, tears. Absolute waterfall. I had no idea how much pressure was built up, but I tell you what, 10 minutes later, I still had all my acne, I still had all my problems, but suddenly I just felt 200 pounds lighter. That moment showed me that I should never ignore my feelings. I should never be ashamed of them. And that is a huge part of why I am the compassionate man who stands in front of you. Probably also a huge reason why I actually ended up being vegan. So tell me if you agree, but I think a man who expresses himself fully so that you can count on him to keep you feeling safe, loved, nurtured, understood is always better than a man who's manly because he doesn't cry, he doesn't speak too much, but actually he scares you and takes out that anger on you. Point number 3. Leonardo da Vinci, Ben Franklin, Gandhi, Albert Einstein, Joaquin Phoenix. What do all these men have in common? They were all vegan. Imagine for a second a world where Leonardo was worried about what other men thought of his art and they might think it was feminine, so he didn't do it. Imagine if Albert Einstein dedicated his whole life to trying to be the most masculine guy ever because science was too feminine. If every notable person in history was worried about being ultra masculine or ultra feminine, then we wouldn't have nearly the human accomplishments that we do today. We would probably still be hitting each other in the head with clubs, fighting for the sake of proving our masculinity. That is stupid, and contrary to popular belief, being stupid doesn't make you more masculine. Point number 4. I think by this point you realize that I don't give two flying craps what anyone does with their life and their body. I don't value people on whether they're more feminine or they're more masculine, but just for a second, let's use this guy's logic. So if you are making your life decisions based on what other men will think of you, is that very manly? If your goal is to be the most bad, scary, muscular, gruff man that's ever walked this earth, don't you think being hyper obsessed with other men's opinions kind of invalidates all of that? Again, it truly does not matter what anyone thinks of you, male or female. If you're not doing things for yourself, you are not living your own life. And living life on autopilot just to please others is the least masculine or feminine thing I have ever heard. You are basically trading away your humanity. And finally, point 5. Imagine we live in a world where all food is blended into a uniform paste, right? Same color, same smell, same taste. You can't differentiate what's in it. It could be meat, it could be plants. You don't know what you're getting that day. Do you really think that the guy who got all vegan paste that month is going to be at all different than the guy who got meat paste that month? All you're doing by claiming veganism is feminine is applying your stereotypes and your skewed perception of certain pieces of food dictating your character instead of basing those judgment calls on personality traits and actions. Here's a question for you. Do you have a favorite male singer? Frank Sinatra, Tom DeLonge, Elvis, James Brown. Pretty cool guys who could basically do anything they wanted with the life they lived, right? You wouldn't say that any of them are feminine for singing, but I remember countless times kids making fun of boys for being in choir class. A lot of people start in choir and end up very famous musicians who are looked up to by millions of men. Look, if we all did things that we are supposed to based on our gender roles, then some of the best women Olympic lifters would have never lifted a weight because it's not very feminine to lift weights. Some little boys out there would never pick up the ice skates because it's not manly, and they would ultimately miss out on becoming potentially the best #1 male skater of all time, and they would also miss out on living the most beautiful, fulfilling life where they're chasing their true passions. In order to do what? Smoke cigarettes, punch people, worry about their masculinity all day? Psh, no thank you. You know I'm right. In reality, attributing femininity or masculinity based on dietary choices is both narrow-minded and it's outdated. Let's not confine our understanding of gender to the contents of a plate. There are far more important qualities that define a person: intelligence, empathy, the ability to appreciate a good tofu scramble. Plus, we all truly know that compassion is one of the best and most desirable traits that a man can have. Choosing not to harm innocent animals because you have enough discipline to do so, that's something that I have a great deal of respect for. So, what do you think? Am I spot on or am I an idiot, a complete numpty? Let me know your opinions in the comments below. And if you're looking for my favorite vegan supplement brand of all time, check out Veg Nutrition for your protein, your pre-workout, your omega-3s, your vitamins, all sorts of other goodies. You can use my code Brian10 for a discount. It helps support the channel. And of course, if you want to work with me one-on-one as your coach, go to buffvegans.com and apply. Now, give the video a thumbs up if you agreed with me. And of course, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, because I will see you beautiful people in the very next one.